Cek. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Selamat pagi kami ucapkan kepada hadirin sekalian. Selamat datang dalam seminar dengan topik Next Generation Plastic Additives, Transforming Materials for the Future. Seminar pagi ini didukung oleh PT Lautan Luas Tbk dan Holland Colors Asia. Boleh kita beri tepuk tangannya yang meriah pada pagi hari ini. Luar biasa. Kami mengucapkan selamat pagi dan selamat datang kepada yang kami hormati Bapak Rifqy Hijri Saputro selaku Technical Manager PT Lautan Luas Tbk. Mr. Mark Kalisvaart as Global Product Market Manager Packaging Holland Colors Asia. Dan senang sekali saya Fulvia Ogura yang akan memandu acara hari ini dari pagi hingga siang hari nanti. Baik Bapak dan Ibu, langsung saja kita akan menyambut dan juga mengundang speakers kita pada seminar pagi hari ini. Boleh kita beri tepuk tangan yang meriah untuk Bapak Rifqy Hijri Saputro selaku Technical Manager PT Lautan Luas Tbk. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry and has been a professional in the plastic industry since 2007. With strong experience in PVC applications, his career includes key roles in quality assurance and R&D before joining PT Lautan Luas Tbk in 2015. He now serves as technical manager, overseeing formulation, application, and development of polymers and additives in Indonesia and overseas offices. Boleh kita beri tepuk tangan untuk Bapak Rifqy. Silakan Pak. Next, we would like to welcome you, Mark Kalisvaart, Global Product Market Manager, Packaging, Holland Color Asia. With over 25 years in the polymer industry, Mark combines strong technical expertise with commercial insight. He has led the development of sustainable colorants and functional additives, driving innovation, improved recyclability, and market-ready solutions. His work continues to support industry growth and evolving market needs. Please welcome Mark Kalisvaart. Baik, untuk presentasi yang akan disuguhkan pada pagi hari ini, yang pertama kami persilakan Bapak Rifqy untuk memulai.
Terima kasih Mbak Fia, thank you very much. So let me do it here, I think. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So it's a pleasure to be here in front of all of you, and that I think it's great to us from PT Lautan Luas Tbk to share some insights about you on PVC additive technologies, enhancing polymer sustainability for the next generation plastics additives. Okay, the first I want to introduce about PT Lautan Luas Tbk, and we can talk about later the polymers within the applications and also the challenges. And we can share about the additives as well, some overview about that, and we try to correlate within the additives and also the durability for sustainability. And we can do share some question and answers, and I think it will be with Bu Mbak Fia. Yeah. Okay, so firstly, our company, PT Lautan Luas Tbk is founded in 1951. So next year we will be celebrating our 75 year of company. And then our business is for the distribution, manufacturing, and support and services for the industrial chemicals. So we act as an integrated ingredient and solution provider. We are already being a public limited company, listed in the BEI or IDX with the stock code of LTLS stock code. We have the locations is in Jakarta and also some branches in national like Surabaya, Medan, Bandung, and Semarang, as well as our overseas Singapore like Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, and Shanghai. So this is our newest vision since the past 2 years. We have the vision of being a better world through what we do. And our mission is enhancing the world for people and future generations. We try to do our vision and missions well to get the better world and better generations. And Lautan Luas for the process, industrial process, they have the three basic industry. First is the manufacturing, distribution, and also support and services. We have the biggest one on distribution. It's about like 50%. Secondly is manufacturing, about 44 or 45%. We do align with the international principles, 100 of them, with the 1,000 more than 1,000 industrial chemicals and more than 2,000 end users, as well as we have our manufacturing facilities and support and services business units. So, firstly for the polymers, we do understand that there is universal applications. For example, like in the building construction, and then we have the medical and packaging, apparel and upholstery, for example, like the shoes, and then the automotive and also electronics, and there is many more. But along with the universal applications, of course, there also will be universal challenges. For example, firstly is environmental challenges, like waste and pollution issues. And then some of them also get the toxicity issue. So that's why like we have to understand what is the material can be used or not for the health and environmental. And then some of them also getting the harmful for ecosystem and also affecting the climate change. And some the polymers also facing the limitation of performance, like the mechanical properties, thermal properties, chemical properties, and many more. And also it also has like sustainability issues, like for the recycling challenges, health impact, and also using of the fossil fuel for the manufacturing, and also incomplete degradation. I believe that some of these issues is being improved and being developed for better process and better result using the polymers in the world. But I believe some of them still have challenges to do. And then for the additives, so what is polymer additives? So we can see that polymer additive is a substance that added externally, not by the resin itself, to the plastics to enhance or modify the performance. For example, like the roles like to improve physical, mechanical, or chemical properties, and then to increase the processing ability, enhance rigidity and flexibility, and also it provides colors and visual performance. General types like we do know like thermal stabilizers, plasticizers, impact modifiers, and many more. For the roles of the PVC additives, we know that we can divide it into several things like the visual performance, mechanical performance, process performance, chemical, and weatherability performance. Visual, we don't know. Everything we can see by our eyes, like the color, smoothness, the gloss, opacity, transparency, and also some maybe defects on the surfaces as well. For the mechanical, sometimes we do the test, like the rigidity, flexibility, strength and strain, or some call it like elongation at brick, and impact resistance, thermal stability, and etc. For the process, we know that they have roles like for the improving heat stability, lubrication, getting the fusion control, and metal release. For the chemical, some applicators also doing the test like the methyl chloride test or MC test, acetone test, chemical qualitative, and also chemical structure test. And last but not least, the weatherability test, because some users also applied the polymers to do outside or on the building construction, for example, like natural exposure test using the sunlight draining test and rain test, and also for the artificial exposure for the UV chamber test. So how do we enhance the durability for sustainability. So for Lautan, in Lautan Luas, we do acknowledge that we are supporting the sustainable development goals. So that's why we are committed, we are certified to get the Ecofidis committed in this year. That is, we are proven to support the SDG. And it is also incorporated in our sustainable report in the last year. And then we try to get our product that can be used in the environmental friendly. For example, you can see that many of our products also having the environmentally friendly products. Like in our polymers division, we have like five types. And then if we improve for the cases, so I have two kinds of examples. Not all I can share here, but this is to give you some insights as well, that for the internal effects, this is the internal effects to see how the technology of the additives improve the inside the formulation. Like for example, the stabilizers. The stabilizers function is to prolong heat stability during the processing and extend the PVC thermal degradation. So to ensure all of the additives working properly in the formulation. After that, the product will be longer lasting. And also, vice versa, they have the external effects, which is outside the formulation but inside the product. For example, like the waxes or lubricants. It gives external lubrications, fusion control function, and also smooth finish appearance. So also after they got it, so they are not easy to break and impressive printing performance. The cases we got is supported by our principal, IMC and Aralicam. So for IMC, we do cooperate for the calcium zinc stabilizers to get the excellent heat stability, good initial color, recyclability, and non-toxic stabilizers. We believe that this technology from IMC for their calcium zinc stabilizers also supporting our SDG programs, which is for the SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production, as well as other SDGs like the number 13, 14, and 3. Also for Ralicam's additive, we do cooperate with the high density oxidized PWX for one of them. This is also applicable for the transparent use, good fusion control in the PVC system, and also give the excellent metal release, which is very needed in the string film or rigid film applications. And so that's why after the customers getting this performance, they can minimize the production waste to get a more efficient production. And we also believe that this is also supporting the SDG program like the SDG number 12 and number 8 as well. So for the case, we can share, actually we cannot share the customer name of course, but we can share how the technology of additives can improve the customer's ability to process and to get the better result. For example, like the development of calcium zinc stabilizer, which is named like Rifqy Tab CC 6600P for the PVC electrical profile application. So it will get better visual appearance. So it will improve the braid image. You can see that in the picture we have the existing one is slightly bit yellowish, but to use the IMC product, we can see that the product will be like more whiter and more bluish. And then after that, they got the processing ability because it is sometimes not easy to use the calcium zinc stabilizer in the formulation. And after that, customer also have the potential to increase the filler content, like more than 20 to 25%, and get better cost structure. And the second case, we do the oxidized PWX with a Ralicam product using the HDX 730A. To get the better processing ability because the customer gets some problems, which is they have to dismantle all of the machine, all of the molds, only 7 days, and after we improve the formulation and the process, we can do like 20 days. So it's more like nearly 3 times of the downtime. And then get the less material stock in the mold, so improve clarity, and of course, everything of this will get better and efficient, more efficient production. Secondly, for the key takeaways, so we do inform you that Lautan Luas also commits for the supporting SDG programs in our business through our chemical distribution channels, aligned with our Bettering Your World initiative. This is our initiative to get everything or every action we do can give some action to get the world better. And also with our collaboration with our partners, so to support our vision, better world through what we do. So, and secondly, for some of our focus product to support the sustainability, two of them is our calcium zinc stabilizer, Reax CG 60cc 100P, and SDX 70TA. And then you can see in our website to get the more information of our sustainability program, including our chemical distribution and manufacturing site with this link, and you can see for them. And don't forget to visit our booth in Hall B1. Thank you very much. And I think I come back to Mr. Via for the question and answer. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih Bapak Rifqy Hijri Saputro, thank you so much. Jika Bapak dan Ibu memiliki pertanyaan boleh dicatat dulu karena nanti kita akan masuk sesi Q&A gitu ya. Jadi Bapak dan Ibu kalau misalnya mau bertanya lewat bahasa Indonesia boleh, nanti saya yang translate ke bahasa Inggris. Tapi kalau misalnya pengen langsung bertanya dengan bahasa Inggris juga boleh langsung ditanyakan saja. Alright, for the next presentation please welcome Mark Kalisvaart.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mark Kalisvaart, indeed, from Holland Colors. I'm based in the Netherlands. And I will be scoping my presentation around PET packaging and more specific, navigating PET circularity and recycled PET performance needs. First of all, I would like to share a little bit about our company, Holland Colors, the challenges we see in the framework of circularity, and then how we as a company are supporting sustainability. First, about Holland Colors. So who are we? We are a small multinational, origins in the Netherlands 46 years ago, and we are a producer of customized color and additive concentrates on master batches. And these are available in every form or shape. We produce liquids and solids, and these solids could be based on a wax or on a polymer. Well, like I said, we are a small multinational, so we are global, and we have a network of more than 100 suppliers, distributors, and agents, and we are with about 450 employees today. And we really see ourselves as a true co-designer. We like to partner up with within the value chain, with our customers, but also with brand owners and equipment manufacturers, and of course, universities and associations. If we look at the challenges today, I mean, the presentation is about navigating, and well, as a company, and I think many companies amongst us, have to navigate the regulatory landscape. There are many associations, there are recycling associations, there are treaties. So you see some examples here. And being from Europe, some people refer sometimes to Brussels and a tsunami of regulations that is overwhelming us. And of course, we have to navigate that and ensure as a company that we meet all the critical standards. So as a company, we also have a strong focus on regulatory. We have a very strong product stewardship team. If there are any questions, we are always happy to help out. So if we look at the increasing use of recycled materials, there are a couple of dynamics taking place in the world today. First of all, we see, of course, this is regional, but in general, I think we can say there are better collection rates. We see increasing collection rates of plastics and PET plastic in particular. There are also better and more sophisticated sorting technologies out there, more advanced sorting, and I can tell a bit more about that later on. Ranging from region to region, there are also mandates around minimum recycled content. Of course, there are also the pledges from the brand owners They, of course, they pledge by 2025 and 2030 to have certain amounts of recycled content. But you also see in the news that some of them are really stepping down and delaying some of those mandates. In Europe, we have the packaging and packaging waste regulation, and there we really have to stick this year to 25% of our PET in packaging, in PET packaging. We also see, because of the increasing rules and regulations, that there's an increasing amount of recycling loops. And, well, I will come to the effects later on. What does that mean? And also interesting, I think, if we talk about mandates, so mandated minimum amounts of recycled content, it would be a shame if we would incinerate high-quality, white, opaque PET that is used for dairy products. So in Europe now, since this year, we also have a dedicated waste collection stream for these white opaques. And I will tell a bit more about that later on. But if you look at the effects, some of the effects of these market dynamics is that the recycled PET, because of the increasing amount of loops, is becoming more yellow and it's becoming more dark. In Europe, for instance, in Scandinavia, it actually came to a point where brand owners didn't even accept the quality anymore. So I think now in, was it Norway or Sweden? I think it was Norway. They said there needs to be sort of a cap on the amount of recycled content you can use, which is set at 80%. Because if you are aiming for 100%, the quality really deteriorates to a level that's not acceptable anymore. So so more yellow, that's the B star value. It's becoming darker, so a lower L star value. Also the IV, which is the intrinsic viscosity of recycled PET, is dropping. And NIAs, or reaction products like acetaldehydes, are also increasing. And of course, like I just mentioned, we have this dedicated stream of opaque, which I expect to become a global trend. And that is causing increased sources of our PET opaque, which is, of course, a good thing. But you need to do something with that. But first of all, I would like to highlight here that this year we wrote an ebook. So if anybody is interested, you can scan the QR code and you can download it. There's more information about advanced sorting, for instance, and all the other trends we see in the regulatory landscape. And I already referred to advanced sorting a little bit. I think if you look at these sorting or waste management facilities, the trend is really going towards digital image recognition combined with artificial intelligence and machine learning. And there are also some initiatives, I think it's mainly in Europe, like the Holy Grail, which involves digital watermarking. So there are invisible digital watermarks on your packaging or on your label, so not visible by the human eye, but it will be picked up by a camera. And that really allows you to sort very specifically and enhance your, in the end, the quality of your feedstock with less contaminations. So you see a couple of examples here. I will not go into detail, but you can have a read if you want, if you download this. So now, with all these challenges and also material challenges, we as a company had to think about also sort of revising our strategy, because we are called Holland Colors. That implies that we know a lot about colors and that we develop and produce color concentrates. But I'm not sure whether you noticed there is less and less color in packaging. I'm from Holland, and the mushroom trays were blue and green, and they're transparent now. The meat trays, they were black, and they're transparent now. The famous example of the Sprite bottle that was green once now turned into a transparent, clear bottle. Reason being, if you keep color in there and you mix this, you get this low-quality gray color. You cannot use it anymore. That's why the global trend is really towards clear, transparent PET for packaging. And, well, of course, you always have the exceptions. You do have the products for dairy products, for instance, extended shelf life or UHT, where you need complete light blocking. And that's where the white opaque is still used, also in this region. And like I said, we want to recycle this as well. So what can we do as a company? Well, first of all, you see here a small animation. If you recycle these white opaques, they turn into this grayish color. Reason being that a lot of these bottles are multi-layer, and you have a black inner layer. And if you melt this in an extruder, yeah, you will get a gray color. And the opacity is completely gone. So what we developed a master batch that enhances the whiteness, again, the L star, as you see here, and it also brings back the opacity. So you get a better opacity again. And we call it Holker Pearl Rewhite. This is our product for PET dairy bottles. Of course, the product is fully contact compliant. If we go to the transparent, clear PET, we have a couple of new products there as well. First of all, a product called Visco Boost. This is to enhance the viscosity, the intrinsic viscosity of the recycled PET. It's a chain extender. So this is a chain extender that is added during the extrusion process, so the reprocessing step in recycling. So the PET bottles are collected, they are grinded into flakes, they're put into an extruder, and what normally happens is that the viscosity of the PET drops. And there is a process called solid state polymerization or liquid state polymerization that normally increases the viscosity of the PET. But sometimes you don't want to have your material sit in this process for too long to get to the right IV levels. That's where Visco Boost comes in. So you can add this additive, and it ranges, depending on your IV needs, anywhere between 0 to 2%, and you get significant increase of your viscosity. It's a heat-activated process. You can just use standard PET processing conditions. It's fully contact approved, and it will not negatively affect your food contact approvals. And I guess we have two grades available now. We have a highly concentrated, very effective grade, which is new, and we have a standard product, which is shown here in the graph. So basically, by every percentage you add to the recycled PET, you gain a 0.1 unit in your viscosity. This is maybe a bit more complicated as a slide, but what the illustrations show here are the typical recycling processes, where you start from PET flakes, you put them in the extruder, you pelletize them, and then you can increase the viscosity by means of the SSP process. And the SSP, so the solid state polycondensation process, under high vacuum and high temperature to increase the IV, can be positioned before extrusion or after extrusion. But yeah, doesn't really matter. We can add the Visco Boost in every process as long as there is an extruder. The big advantage is what I would like to show here. The SSP process, so after extrusion, after pelletizing, you have the RPT pellet sitting in this huge silo under a high vacuum and temperature. And this could, so I heard some customers are even having their materials in there for 20 hours. Whereas if you look at Europe, the European Food Safety Authority is saying, well, you need to have the material sitting in that reactor for at least 6 hours to decontaminate your material to a high enough level. So you can save time if you use this chain extender. You can, the more you add, of course, the higher the IV and the lower the time in your SSP process. And this illustration sort of shows this. You see the SSP time at the bottom. Then you see the viscosity on the vertical axis. And well, the 6 hours is what is sort of mandated by the European Food Safety Authority. And the red line really shows you if you don't use an additive, you have to just sit for 8 hours in this process to reach the right level of viscosity. If you add Visco Boost, you can cut it by 2 hours. This is a huge cost saving, but also a throughput enhancer. So that is Visco Boost. And that does something in terms of mechanical integrity and mechanical performance. But then you have the color issues. So what happens is that the PET, when you recycle it over and over again, it degrades. It turns yellow. Nobody likes a yellow bottle. So what we can do is we can add a toner in there. It's called tint mask. And basically what we do, we take, if you look at the color spectrum, we take the opposite color of yellow, which is violet or blue, and we add a little bit of this violet into the extruder. And then you get a shift from yellow to bluish. And you will see more and more recycled bottles looking a little bit bluish. And that's because of the anti-yellow toners. If you are adding these toners, you have to ensure that the material, the toners, remain to be in your extrusion process. So sublimation stability is very important. And sublimation stability means that your additives, so the dyes and the carrier you're using, are not extracted out of the system, but they stay inside the system. So we've developed the next generation sublimation stable concentrates. And that's what's shown here. So in this graph you see this is a TGA test, thermographical analysis. So we have a test where we keep the temperature at 220 degrees Celsius for 4 hours, and then you measure the weight loss. And what you see here is we put the formulation of a competitor in there in that test, and also our new generation of toners, which is the red line. And you see that we are outperforming competition in terms of sublimation performance. So you get less evaporation of your material. It's significantly improved in terms of quality and stability. This was a test that we did at one of the leading equipment manufacturers in PET recycling called NGR. And this is where we tested our sublimation stable toners. And what you see is on the right side, the B star is the yellowness is dropping about 5 points. It means it turns from yellow towards blue. And then last but not least, this is a very exciting new development, and we get a lot of interest throughout the world from recyclers and brand owners. This is a stabilizer called SurgStep. And this is a collaboration between our company and the company SI Group. And the product just received Recyclass and APR Recycling Friendliness Endorsement. Recyclass is the European Recycler Association, APR is the American one. This is a must-have. Brand owners are not willing to, they're not interested in your products if you don't have these endorsements. We don't have something in Asia, but I'm sure it's a matter of time that we will have similar endorsement needs in this region. The product is called SurgStep, and it's a stabilizer. So what you typically see, as I described before, is that if you recycle PET, it turns more yellow. Right? You can clearly see it in the picture here. You go from a virgin, nice, clear, to a yellow rPET. And the yellow line here shows you the increase in B star, so it's turning more yellow. And the black line is showing you that it's turning more dark. Well, a stabilizer is really a preemptive or preventative measure for degradation. Whereas Visco Boost and Tint Mask are products that are like a plaster on a wound or something that already happened. It is repairing damage that already happened. SurgStep is a stabilizer that prevents degradation. It prevents discoloration. This is what the market is looking for now. It reduces yellowing, it reduces discoloration, and it also prevents a drop in IV, in viscosity, and which allows you for higher throughputs on your lines, similar to what I just explained about Visco Boost. And also another benefit, it reduces the formation of NIAS, non-intentionally added substances like acetaldehyde. So it's like, it's good to be true. Too good to be true, but we see so much interest in the market now, and so far the results have been very, very good. And what we try to do is we try to bundle all the results we have today. And on the graph on the left, you see at the bottom side, you see the addition rate. So you go from 0.5%, to 0.05% addition to your RPT to 0.15%. Addition during the recycling process. And you see here the effect on the L star, so the lightness. So the higher that number, the more light your bottle looks like. And this is important because, like I mentioned before, RPT is turning darker and darker and darker to a level where it's not accepted anymore. So this is sort of the holy grail the industry has been looking for. And then on the right side, you see the effect of this product on P star. So by using a stabilizer, it will not turn that yellow anymore. It remains to be less yellow and more blue. That's really what I would like to present in terms of the product offering we have for recycling of PET. But as a company, yeah, we remain to be very active, collaborative, and support sustainability. We engage throughout the value chain, and we view ourselves as an ecosystem integrator. I think by collaboration, you can really speed up innovation, reduce time to market, and this is very important. And I've been in the industry for almost 30 years now, in the polymer industry. I've never had such an exciting time where you have brand owners opening up, everybody collaborating with everybody, which is great. So we're also participating in consortia. We're working with universities. We're part of various industry associations. And as a company, like I said, we are a true co-designer, so we provide a lot of on-site support. We provide peace of mind to our customers. Yeah, and that's really it. That's what I would like to share. Oh, there's one last slide about our roadshow, but I think we're at the end of it. You see at the bottom where we are today. But yeah, we try to create some awareness about our company and everything we do throughout the world. So we have been exhibiting at many, many recycling events and packaging events. And the event today or this week is really closing off the year for us. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mark. Alright, Bapak dan Ibu, jika sudah ada nih pertanyaan yang sudah dicatat dari presentasi Bapak Rifqy lalu juga Bapak Mark, boleh langsung diangkat saja tangannya. Lalu nanti dari panitia akan memberikan mic-nya kepada Bapak dan Ibu jika ada pertanyaan. If you do have any questions, please raise your hands so that our crew and our team will give you the microphone. And please state your name and also your name and your insertion. Apakah ada Bapak dan Ibu yang memiliki pertanyaan? Oke, kita akan tetap menunggu pertanyaan dari Bapak dan Ibu karena diskusi Q&A masih akan dibuka. Namun Bapak Rifqy, aku punya pertanyaan nih. Jadi sambil menunggu pertanyaan dari audience, aku kira-kira mau bertanya ke Bapak soal presentasi yang tadi. Bagaimana sih situasi market saat ini tentang penggunaan non-toxic material untuk mendukung sustainability di industri PVC?
Okay, terima kasih Mbak Fiaya. So I think for this question, it is much related to the program of the each customer. So I think for this trend of using the non-toxic material, for example, it is like much better compared to maybe like 8, 9, 10 years ago. So many customers already switching to non-toxic materials. For example, like the usage of, in the past we used like mostly the LED stabilizers for the applications. Like for example, for the pipe, for the drinking water. So like starting maybe 10 years ago, still some less than 3 or 4 companies start developing for the calcium zinc. At the time, the calcium zinc technology is meant to be the alternative for the lead stabilizers because they cannot use the tin stabilizers because the contamination issue between the lead and tin. And after that, at the time they found that it is not so easy to use the calcium zinc, so that's they try to develop, and currently I think it's much better. The trend is already going up. Some of the customers, maybe like the big brands, they try to get the a good brand image toward the sustainability because they are using the non-toxic material for themselves. For example, like the calcium zinc stabilizers and maybe like the green particizers like the ESBO, for example. It is like starting to going up, and we are quite happy with that because actually we can support them to align with our vision. Thank you, Pak.
Yes, jadi dari penjelasan dari Pak Rifqy tadi memang the trend is actually increasing gitu ya. Jadi memang trennya itu meningkat Bapak dan Ibu karena juga banyak sekali company-company yang sekarang sudah mulai berjalan ke arah sana gitu kan. Company-company juga udah mulai mencoba untuk utilize kira-kira non-toxic materials itu akan benefit mereka punya company akan seperti apa gitu. Jadi so the trend and the future kita bisa bilang itu memang juga gemilang gitu ya di tahun depan. Jadi untuk penggunaan non-toxic material gitu ya untuk mendukung sustainability di industri PVC tentunya juga memiliki intake yang juga sangat-sangat positif gitu. Nah jadi itu tadi menurut Pak Rifqy. Kira-kira apakah ada pertanyaan sampai sini? Tadi kita sudah mulai move nih ya kan ke non-toxic material di industri PVC. Oke, nggak apa-apa. Nanti kalau misalnya memang ada pertanyaan Bapak dan Ibu boleh dalam bahasa Indonesia atau dalam bahasa Inggris nanti kita akan diskusikan sama-sama di sesi Q&A pada pagi hari ini. Alright, tadi sudah dari Bapak Rifqy, sekarang we wanna move to Mr. Mark. How does the lack of global alignment on RPET regulation impact the overall effort to achieve PET circularity?
Thank you for the question. It's a very good question. In general, I think the lack of alignment will slow down circularity, which is unfortunate. I think that's what we see happening today in the market. A lot of important elements in the legislation that we see are sort of aligned across the world, but it's really the time element that is against us now. I mentioned in Europe we have the European packaging and packaging waste regulation with quite some mandates around recyclability at scale and the use of minimum recycled contents, whereas in the rest of the world we don't really see that. Yeah? We see some states in the Americas, in Latin America, you see some countries, I think in Japan. So, and then the other, I think, piece of misalignment we see is in the way the food contact safety of recycled materials for packaging are being assessed. In Europe, we assess the machine, so the extruder. It needs to produce food contact safe materials, whereas in America, they look at the resins itself. And in Asia, we don't see an overarching body assessing those materials. But generally, yeah, the lack of alignment is slowing down circularity. And yeah, because of everything I just mentioned, unfortunately, we see quite some recyclers in Europe and the Americas going out of business because of this, the fact that cheap virgin materials and low-cost recycled PET from regions like Asia are exported into Europe and America, which really affects the sort of the commercial viability of the products produced in Europe. And companies are going out of business. Even in the Netherlands, I think last year about more than 10 companies were going out of business. This is unfortunate. It happens. And I think that's also one of the reasons why in Europe we're trying to put anti-dumping policies out there to sort of mitigate this risk for the European recycling industry. So again, it's slowing down the circularity, unfortunately. But I'm an optimist, In the end, it's inevitable. We will not be able to stop this train of circularity. Again, there's a time element involved there, and it will happen. It is happening.
Yes, thank you very much. Jadi Bapak dan Ibu, tadi kita sempat diskusi gitu ya sama Mr. Mark juga. Kira-kira tuh gimana sih lack of global alignment-nya nih di dalam REPT regulation gitu kan. Terus lalu tadi akhirnya sempat di-mention juga bahwa di Amerika dan juga di Eropa gitu ya memang unfortunately sayang sekali memang slowing down gitu. Jadi memang rada-rada turun gitu ya dan juga memang mostly memang banyak sekali yang juga company-company yang go out of business gitu. Go out of business tuh maksudnya memang juga banyak yang tidak profitable lagi juga dan juga banyak yang jatuhnya memang tidak sejaya sebelumnya gitu kan. Dan itu juga akhirnya menyebabkan banyak sekali company-company di Eropa gitu ya yang akhirnya juga membuat banyak sekali regulasi-regulasi atau juga policy-policy gitu ya untuk memitigasi hal ini seperti itu. Tapi memang seperti yang disampaikan juga tidak hanya berita yang tidak mengenakan aja nih, tapi juga memang kita adalah seorang yang harus optimis gitu ya. Jadi memang kita terus berharap bahwa circulation ini akan terus berjalan ke arah yang lebih baik dan juga tentunya banyak sekali chance atau opportunity kita untuk grow gitu. Oke, apakah ada lagi? Bapak dan Ibu yang ingin bertanya, boleh nanti langsung diberikan mikrofonnya dari tim atau panitia kami. Apakah ada yang ingin bertanya? Mungkin ingin bahas tadi, mungkin agak di luar topik sedikit, cuman kira-kira tadi misalnya ada pertanyaan yang soal kira-kira future-nya gimana sih industri yang sekarang ini kita lagi bahas sama-sama gitu kan. Atau mungkin challenge-nya apa nih, karena kan tahun 2025 sudah mau selesai gitu kan. Sepanjang tahun ini kira-kira challenge-nya di 2025 apa gitu. Boleh nanti langsung ditanyakan saja ya. Baiklah, kalau tadi sudah akhirnya saya bertanya kepada Mr. Mark, saya mau tanya lagi ke Bapak Rifqy. Pak, bagaimana sih cara Lautan Luas memastikan teknologi yang ada di PVC additive tersebut, kira-kira gimana cara memastikan teknologinya itu teknologi yang memang direkomendasikan gitu. Dan tantangan apa yang dihadapi nih dalam prosesnya, silakan Pak.
Baik, terima kasih Mbak Via. Mungkin saya jawab dengan bahasa Indonesia saja Mbak ya. Oke. Jadi kalau kita lihat memang meskipun tadi saya katakan bahwa trennya adalah naik, tapi memang kita tidak bisa pungkiri bahwa secara umum belum semua orang bisa menerima mengenai permasalahan sustainability maupun circular economy. Jadi dalam hal ini kita lakukan adalah tentunya ketika ada customer berusaha untuk mengarah ke sana, kita sambut baik. Kita berikan dukungan yang suportif kepada mereka yang tidak hanya terkait dengan masalah teknis, tapi juga masalah-masalah menyangkut dengan market situation, trend, kondisi update dan sebagainya. Jadi kita juga memastikan bahwa mereka punya komitmen. Karena di sini Lautan Luas seperti yang saya sudah sampaikan bahwa kita punya komitmen dan kita juga berharap customer melakukan hal yang sama terhadap komitmen tersebut. Itu yang pertama. Terus yang kedua tentunya teknologi itu tiap aditif kebetulan berbeda. Jadi kita juga harus sesuaikan dengan kebutuhan customer masing-masing untuk memastikan bahwa yang kita berikan rekomendasinya tepat guna, tepat sasaran dan tentunya memberikan efek yang luar biasa kepada customer. Seperti tadi contoh yang saya sampaikan di presentasi adalah contoh-contoh kasus nyata yang mereka expect untuk mendapatkan sesuatu yang lebih baik dan mendukung program mereka untuk ke arah sustainability. Jadi yang kedua adalah eksplorasi, ketiga adalah edukasi. Tentunya kita juga berusaha memberikan customer sebuah edukasi mengenai penggunaan material ini yang kita correlate dengan kenyataannya ada di lapangan dan tentunya salah satunya adalah bagaimana melibatkan dukungan dari stakeholder seperti dari principal, dari tim internal Lautan Luas maupun juga dengan beberapa regulasi terkait dari pemerintah. Saya rasa dengan adanya tadi pertama adalah awareness dan komitmen dari customer, kemudian yang kedua adalah eksplorasi terhadap kebutuhan customer sehingga kita bisa memberikan sesuatu yang tepat guna, teknologi yang sesuai dengan kebutuhan, dan yang ketiga adalah edukasi. Terima kasih Mbak Buja.
Yes, jadi dalam menjawab, dalam menjawab tantangan di tahun ini itu berarti tadi ada awareness, ada exploration dan juga ada education gitu ya Pak ya. Jadi memang ini hubungan yang sangat erat gitu loh antara juga lautan luas dan juga dengan audience atau dengan customer seperti itu ya Pak ya. Oke. Baiklah, semakin menarik nih Bapak dan Ibu, jika memang ada pertanyaan boleh langsung ditanyakan, mungkin silahkan. Ada di depan saya, ada yang ingin bertanya, boleh kakak diberikan mic-nya. Yes, boleh disebutkan nama dari instansinya kak?
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Please state your name and also where you're from. Thank you very much.
And my name is Janice from MC Group. I'm from China. And we are the PVC stabilizer manufacturer. And actually we already have cooperation with Lautan. But actually we have a question to ask Mr. Mark. Yes, because your product is a kind of addictive, and for PET, right? And we make for PVC products, our product for PVC stabilizer. So we want to ask you about your product can use for other polymers such as PVC, PP, or any kinds of polymers.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Well, this product is really dedicated to be used for PET only. We do have stabilizers for PVC as well. Actually, we have a booth in Hall B1 as well. So we sell not only into packaging, we also sell product into building and construction, coatings and adhesives. But we have different stabilizers for different materials. This one is dedicated for PET recycling.
Okay, hope that answers your questions very clearly. Thank you very much. All right, do we have another one? Do we have another question, please? Apakah ada pertanyaan lagi Bapak dan Ibu? Oke, baiklah. Kalau begitu sekarang saya yang punya pertanyaan kalau gitu. I do have one more question for Mr. Mark. What role can emerging technologies and innovations play in improving our PET quality and supporting sustainability goals in the plastics industry?
Thank you. Well, emerging technologies, new innovations for sure enhance the quality of recycled PET. In my presentation, I talked about advanced sorting. But apart from that, you see chemical recycling, which is in its infancy, but it's really producing virgin-like materials. The Holy Grail I talked about, digital watermarking, so that really also helps you to enhance recycling rates. We see great innovation now as well, where big machine manufacturers are coupling their machines together, like you have recycling machines, so the melt processing, coupled with the injection molding of preforms. So companies like Arema and CPA working together, or NGR and Husky working together and coupling their machines. These are great innovations. They're big energy savers and money savers as well. Other innovations are like near-infrared detectable colorants. If you look at the black trays, food trays for sushi, for instance, normally they are black because carbon black is used. Carbon black will not be able to be recognized by the near-infrared cameras in sorting plants. So we, for instance, developed colorants that still are black, but without the use of carbon black. So all these innovations enhance the quality. They enhance the recycling rates as well. And then, of course, the additives I just mentioned for clear, transparent PET. They enhance the color quality, the mechanical integrity of the products, and they could also reduce energy cost and increase the throughput. So everything we do, all the emerging technologies, all the innovations are there to support circularity and really increase the recycling rates.
Alright, thank you very much. Jadi Bapak dan Ibu, tadi saya sempat tanya akhirnya ke Mr. Mark, kira-kira gimana sih di REPT quality ini gimana caranya biar bisa kontribusi gitu ya di supporting sustainability goals di plastic industry gitu. Dan memang dari semua presentasi yang sudah dijelaskan gitu, dari semua presentasi yang sudah dipaparkan tadi dari Mr. Mark, itu memang semua mengarah kepada semua teknologi, semua mesin yang ada dipaparkan dan dijelaskan tadi itu memang fokus untuk meningkatkan quality gitu. Fokus untuk meningkatkan kualitas dari segi warna, dari segi bentuk. Tadi kan bisa dilihat ya ada yang kuning-kuning gitu kan karena memang recycle gitu. Terus memang ada yang warnanya tidak sejernih plastik yang biasanya gitu. Tapi dengan adanya ini, dengan adanya mesin dan teknologi yang memang akhirnya sudah disediakan sekarang, itu akan meningkatkan tentunya kualitas daripada recyclable materials gitu. Jadi memang akan tentunya jika memang hal yang recycle itu tingkatnya semakin bagus, kualitasnya semakin bagus, jadinya seorang-orang yang lain akan jadi semangat gitu kan untuk recycle lagi gitu. Jadi memang ini akan mendukung circulation gitu Bapak dan Ibu. Oke, thank you very much. Bapak dan Ibu jika masih punya pertanyaan, if you still have questions, please ask off the stage. Nanti Bapak dan Ibu boleh nanti ditanyakan aja langsung kepada speakersnya setelah sesi ini. Karena sesi akan segera berakhir. Jadi Bapak dan Ibu terima kasih juga atas perhatiannya dan juga atas pertanyaan-pertanyaannya. Kami tetap menunggu Bapak dan Ibu yang masih memiliki pertanyaan-pertanyaan atau mungkin hal-hal yang ingin didiskusikan. Jadi Bapak Rifqy, kira-kira tadi kita sudah diskusi banyak ya di sesi hari ini. Kira-kira closing statementnya apa nih Pak untuk hari ini? Kira-kira apa mungkin yang ingin disampaikan? Do you wanna say anything and the closing statement for today's session please?
Okay, thank you very much, Mbak Fia. For the closing, I think firstly I would like to thank Pak Merindo to hold this seminar and give a chance for us and to introduce and to give insight for you for all of you. And secondly, I think we need to collaborate. I think I will also agree with Mark at the end that we need to collaborate. That's why like yesterday we have like a talk to give some insight on collaboration and cooperation between some parties, as well to improve our usage on especially for us, we are quite strong in the PVC, so we are focusing on the PVC additives for the sustainability process. Thank you, Mbak Fia.
Yes, thank you very much. Terima kasih Pak. Mr. Mark, do you have anything to say to the audience for the closing statement?
Well, I was actually going to say exactly the same, but I had to think about another one. But of course, first thanks of all to the organizer also to give us the opportunity to present here. But I think, apart from collaboration, I think we should stay positive. Of course, we see quite some headwinds. The legislators are very slow sometimes. Brand owners are sometimes moving a bit away from the pledges they made earlier on, or they're delaying it. But in the end, it is happening, and I think we're all here to make this a better and more sustainable world. The technologies are there; it's technically feasible, it's commercially feasible. So let's all stay positive.
Thank you so much. Boleh kita beri tepuk tangan yang meriah untuk Bapak Rifqy and Mr. Mark. Luar biasa. Thank you so much Bapak Rifqy dan Mr. Mark. Thank you very much for your precious time for our session this morning. And Bapak dan Ibu, jika memang tetap masih memiliki pertanyaan atau diskusi, kami masih membuka waktu nanti off stage. Terima kasih banyak. Mohon kesediaannya Bapak Rifqy dan Bapak Mark untuk tetap berada di atas panggung. And we kindly ask you to stand on the center for the photo session. Please, yes, boleh di sini Pak? Ya, di center sini. Iya. Hadirin sekalian, dengan penuh rasa terima kasih dan apresiasi yang mendalam, kita telah tiba pada akhir acara seminar pada sesi siang ini. Terima kasih kepada para pembicara dan banyak pihak yang telah turut serta dalam acara hari ini. Bapak dan Ibu hadirin sekalian, sebelum saya menutup kegiatan di panggung ini, saya ingin menginformasikan bahwa pada jam 2 siang nanti akan ada seminar dengan topik Trend Technology Single Pass Printing and Packaging. Tentunya di stage ini juga, di Sustainability Stage Hall CG Expo Kemayoran, Jakarta. Terima kasih Bapak dan Ibu atas perhatiannya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sampai jumpa dan selamat pagi.